Good evening, Vananda. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, Viksit Bharat at 2047, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today, we are celebrating World Habitat Day on 6th October every year, and the theme for 2025 is Urban Crisis Response. So an increasing number of people are driven from their homes by crises such as conflict, political instability, climate change, and economic hardship. A record 122 million people are forcibly displaced, and in an increasing urbanizing world, displacement is becoming an urban phenomenon. Over 80% of the internationally displaced persons, refugees, and migrants are seeking refuge in cities, putting pressures on local systems. This is accelerating urban growth while changing territories significantly, making urban crisis response and urban displacement a timely focus for the 2025 World Habitat Day. So the theme for this year, as already mentioned, Urban Crisis Response. World Habitat Day is marked on the first Monday of October each year and is recognized by the United Nations to reflect on the state of towns and cities, on the basic right of all to adequate shelter. On 6th October 2025, the global observance of World Habitat Day will be linked to urban crisis response. The theme focuses on addressing multiple crises affecting urban areas, including climate and conflicts. They are contributing to inequality and promotes existing tools and approaches to effective crisis response. The day will highlight sustainable, scalable, and transformative solutions to urban displacement that help stabilize populations while promoting prosperity and fostering social cohesion for all. It will put the spotlight on the importance of urban and territorial planning, inclusive urban governance, and the role of governments and sustainable solutions for displacement. So in 1985, the United Nations designated the first Monday of October of every year as World Habitat Day to reflect on the state of our habitats and on the basic right of all adequate shelter. The day is also intended to remind the world that we all have power and responsibility to shape the future of our cities and towns. It's for our collective responsibility for the future of the human habitat. So World Habitat Day was first celebrated in 1986 with the theme Shelter is my right. Nairobi was the host city for the observance that year. Other previous themes included Shelter for the Homeless, 1987, New York, Shelter and Urbanization, 1990, London, Future Cities, 1997, Bonn, Safer Cities, 1998, Dubai, Women in Urban Governance, 2000, Jamaica, Cities with Slums, 2001, Fukuoka, Water and Sanitation for Cities, 2003, Rio de Janeiro, Planning Our Urban Future, 2009, Washington, D.C., Better City, Better Life, 2010, Shanghai, China, and the Cities and Climate Change, 2011, Aquas Elements, Mexico. So the UN Habitat Scroll of Honor Award was launched by the United Nations Human Settlements Program in 1989. It is currently the most prestigious settlements award in the world. The Scroll and Honor Award aims to recognize initiatives which have made outstanding contributions in various fields such as shelter provision, providing adequate, affordable, and accessible housing, highlighting the plight of the homeless, leadership in post-conflict reconstruction, and developing and improving the human settlements and the quality of urban life. The Scroll of Honor Award recognizes both individuals and institutions, but have made outstanding contributions to urban development. Urban October is an opportunity for everyone to be part of the conversation about the challenges and opportunities created by the fast rate of change in our cities and towns. Each October, everyone interested in sustainable urbanization, from national and local governments to universities, NGOs, and communities, is encouraged to hold or participate in activities, events, and discussions. The month begins with World Habitat Day on the very first Monday and ends with World Cities Day on the 31st. Activities take place on those dates or any time during the month. The UN Habitat Scroll of Honor Award is one of the highlights of the World Habitat Day global observation and is presented to the selected winners during the observance. So urban areas, especially cities, are now home to slightly more than half of the world's 7 billion people. Current urbanization trends indicate that an additionally 3 billion people will be living in urban areas by 2050. The Global Urban Observancy GUD unit is a specialized statistical unit in charge of global monitoring of the habitat agenda and other agenda with an urban linkage, and carries out normative work such as developing the City Prosperity Initiative, CPI, and computing the CPI for selected cities. This week is also commemorated as Active Aging Week from October 6th to 12th in US especially. The International Council of Active Aging began in the first active aging week in 2003. This week is meant to celebrate how positive the process of aging can truly be. Active Aging Week encourages adults over the age of 50 to take advantage of all that life has to offer. The goal of this week is to promote wellness initiatives to get bodies up and moving. So you can sign up to become a host for Active Engaging Week event, like we are doing commemorations and celebrations today. And by becoming a registered host, you can also help the word throughout your community, online or offline, by participating and also making presentations and sharing information. And share your personal story. If you have any personal story, because everyone will have some aged parents or grandparents, or might be you as a senior citizen, you can also share your personal story, or someone benefited from becoming actively involved in wellness initiatives that pertain to aging. If so, consider sharing your story. Others are sure to benefit from learning about the successes or failures that make up so many different wellness journeys. In fact, the senior citizens or aged people are think tanks. They are full of knowledge and wisdom. They have seen so many ups and downs in their life. In fact, we do not have a proper strategy, in fact, to involve them proactively even after retirement. Because what happens when they are lost? Their entire knowledge, wisdom, and the experience they have gained over a period of life, their entire life is lost. See, we have struggled so much, right? We have entire life is spent in gaining so much of knowledge. If we do not transfer that knowledge, if you do not share that knowledge to others, what is the use of our life? What is the purpose of our life? Right? There should be a purpose when we are earning something. It may be money also, for that matter. No matter how much you earn, at the end of the day, if you don't put that money to proper use, or no matter how many degrees you earn, if you don't put that to proper use, or no matter how much wisdom you earn, knowledge, wisdom, or education you gain, if you don't put that into proper use, then what is the ultimate gain that you are going to get? Because knowledge, information, and wisdom is and experiences are something to be shared, not to be protected, not to be um, kept private or personal. Because people should be learned, like we have learned so many things from our Vedas, but unfortunately what happened, because of this Western propaganda and all, nobody is now, most of us are more interested, the present generations and the, Gen X and everyone are interested in Harry Potter and, all kinds of fictional characters, Spider-Man, Batman, and, all kind of modern, revolutionist or modern feminist and modern so-called, these are all, contemporary, but we have things, ancient sciences, indigenous knowledge systems that have come from thousands and thousands of years. They stand testimony of time and space. But what we are doing, we are not at all, going back, referring to them, gaining the knowledge. We are into this political propaganda, religious propaganda. That document is religious, that document is political, all. But see, in the Western countries, what they are doing. There is no country that doesn't study Vedas. They are doing a lot of research, because that is where India has been Vishwaguru. And, to keep population of India, Bharat, ignorant, they have, spread lot of propaganda that we should remain ignorant, and we should never go back and read. And lot of, campaigns came attacking Brahmins, especially because they were the custodians. Even today, others were not reading, they were not having this Vedic knowledge, especially Brahmins. Brahmins in such doesn't mean those who are born to a Brahmin parents. Brahmin is someone who is the custodian of knowledge of Brahma or Brahmand. So they have been, because why they have chosen? It's not that, a particular community has chosen themselves to protect them. See, can we, or maybe suppose, can any one of you can be a custodian? May not be, because we are not even able to take care of our own, subjects, or, that needs a very strict discipline, commitment, dedication. Can we do that? See, nowadays, there is a lot of propaganda that is going on that anyone can become anything, right? Definitely. Why not? Then why everyone is not becoming doctors? Why everyone is not becoming engineers? Why everyone is not becoming pilots? Why everyone is not becoming teachers? Right? Everyone can become anything, right? And nowadays, with the technology, all books are available. There is Swayam platform, there is EPG Patashala, and Open University. You can enroll into any course. Otherwise, YouTube channels are there. You can learn anything. A lot of seminars are happening, and you Google it. Now AI has come. It has made things easier also, like for searching, for retrieving information. You can become whatever you want. But are you becoming that? Why some are becoming doctors? Why some are only becoming engineers? Why some are becoming counselors? Some are becoming teachers. Some are becoming entrepreneurs. Some are becoming scientists. Right? Because it's their personal interest. It's their personal commitment. It's their passion towards one or other aspects of knowledge. Because not entire knowledge can be gained by one person in their entire life with these rudimentary methods or contemporary methods. It's not possible. So we need to understand the limitations, human limitations. Yes, humans have the potential, but when that potential can be leveraged, when we have that kind of commitment, when we have that kind of dedication, when we have that kind of sincerity towards our ambitions, towards our passions, towards our goals, then only we'll be able to achieve. We say Trikarna Shuddhi, Manasa Vacha Karmana. We say something, we think something, we do something. There is no, sync between these three. There is no harmony between these three. Unless and until you have harmony of what you are thinking, what you are saying, and what you are doing, that is basic for everything. Unless and until you are not able to achieve that harmony, you will be not able to achieve great things in this world. Why people are successful? Because they are successful. Success in terms of, being appreciated, being valued, being respected for whatever they are, is only because they are following this tripartite principle. That is Manasa Vacha Karmana. That is mind, the thoughts, psychological thoughts, and what they are saying and what they are doing. So unless and until you have harmony and synchrony among these things, no one can achieve wonders. And this synchrony is only possible through yoga. Yoga means not that physical exercise yoga. It is the union of mind, body, and soul. It can be yoga kriya, yoga as a kriya. Means yoga as an exercise is just one method, like we have Ashtanga yoga. Yoga kriya or performing yoga or yogic practices Among that, physical activity is just one part. We have to focus on other aspects also. That is why it is very much essential. We need to focus on ourselves, take time for ourselves to reflect upon. Because today, nowadays, in today's world, there is flooding of information, lots of information. And with AI, we are seeing lot of misinformation, disinformation, and all kinds of false propaganda that is spreading everywhere. And you need to verify, you can't just blindly believe. So there are a lot of sources like this and genuine sources. It's very difficult to reach unless and until you have a proper strategy to reach them. So in this context, it is very much essential, to keep yourself active. It's not keeping yourself busy, keeping yourself productive. People are always busy. How some people are able to do so much work in 24 hours, and how many people are struggling to do even small things in 24 hours. It's all about time management. It's all about setting priorities, and it's all about deliberation of tasks, and it's all about decision making. Based on your SWOT analysis. What are your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats? You should analyze about yourself, what you can do, what you cannot do. And if you cannot do something, you should have the courage to say no. No to yourself and also no to others. Then only you will be able to focus on whatever you are doing. Otherwise, you will keep wandering between the goals, multiple goals. Multitasking is good, but to some extent. Where precision is required, multitasking can always be hazardous. In certain things, we can do multitasking, but that will compromise the overall tasks you are doing, multiple, areas at the same time. So we can do certain things through multitasking, and certain things we need to do complete. We need to put entire focus on one particular task. So we should also be able to decide where we are going to put our resources and how that is going to impact ours and also as well as others. So these kind of, lots of information, wisdom, which is there with the elders, think tanks, they are like living libraries, living legends. When they are lost, imagine how much of knowledge is lost. They have learned so many things, spending their entire life. And with that, we can learn a lot of things, right? We can avoid a lot of mistakes, blunders they have done. So that after learning, by knowing what consequences, what were the consequences for the decisions they have made in those times, in those, situations. So we can also learn from that, and we can see, analyze it, and we can avoid them if required, or we can adapt them, and accordingly we can change them, or we can look for alternatives. So that's why, unfortunately, today we are still not able to leverage the benefits of old age. Generally, what we think, aging means, oh, they have seen everything, and they have to sit somewhere and do, Krishna Rama or some religious activities. Generally, we say in Hinduism, sannyasa ashram. Then that is the end of life. People have to give up everything, like family and all, and they have to go on doing some pious service of the God, completely dedicating. Now that they have seen, everything, they got married, their children, grandchildren, almost, they have seen their grandchildren, they are also prospering, developing. So now they have also reached their end of life, and it's their duty to contribute and spend some life in religious and pious activities, because again we are going back to God. So we need to do our responsibilities, and after completing our responsibilities, and again we have to concentrate on the last rights and other aspects. See, that's why we need to dedicate ourselves, we need to take time, and not only that, we need to prepare our family also, right? Because they have to live without us, right, after certain age, because we are not going to be there forever. No one is going to be staying in this world forever, except Chiranjeevis. They have been blessed, like Prahlada, Lord Anjaneya. They are Chiranjeevis. They are there forever on this planet or in this universe. So they are there forever. But we are not like that. We are born, and we have, as we have been born for a purpose, we are going to die one day, leave this world. We have come to this world, and we are definitely going to leave on one day. We don't know which is that day, but definitely whatever we have gained or whatever were the experiences, we have to share with others. See why we are organizing daily programs, and that too for free, and giving opportunities for everyone, whoever is really committed or dedicated, sincere, and willingness. And people may have all this, but they should have also the willingness and intent, as well as the content, to share, and most importantly, the courage. After having this, you need to have the courage to come forward and seek opportunities, right? Platform is open every day, whether someone comes or not, whether someone, uh, you know, participates or not, whether someone presents or not. Daily sessions are happening, daily commemorations are happening, daily celebrations are happening. So it will go on, whether we are there, whether we are not there, things will go on. Someone else will come and take over. But what is our contribution? We always need to look at that point. Things will be going on with or without us. Now, what we are there, when we are there, what is our significant contribution to this planet, to this world, to this nation, to this community, or to this profession? That is what we need to focus on. So when we focus on that, then we will get some clarity, and within 24 hours, how best we can prioritize and how best we can put it to service. Now, thinking that every day we have 2 hours from 6 to 8. So within 24 hours, we are giving exclusively 2 hours to provide an opportunity to others on an international platform where anyone can come and share. So this is an opportunity open to entire world. But how many are able to utilize? Many people know, lakhs of people know that there is a platform and every day programs are happening. They also get information through Telegram channels, through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, lot of media channels. Our information is there everywhere. And it is daily, it is reaching to thousands and lakhs of people. But how many are able to utilize? Like I said, not everyone can become doctor, not everyone can become engineer. They can become, but they are not becoming. It's not that they cannot become, but they are not becoming. And there are various reasons like that. Not everyone we can take in different perspectives. Not everyone is fortunate, not everyone is, it's not everyone's cup of tea, or not everyone is interested in it. Not everyone is capable of it. Not everyone is competent of it. Like that, we can take up different perspectives on how we can, explain. But at the end of the day, we need to explore. No one is going to come and push us, every time. Yes, sometimes by God's grace or by chance or choice, you'll be getting, but not every time. You should find opportunities. And especially more importantly, we should utilize the opportunities. Many people, what they do, they exploit the opportunities. That is where they lose opportunities. When they exploit opportunities or when they abuse opportunities, they lose opportunities. Because those are the bad things we need. That is bad karma, accumulating bad karma. We should, when there is an opportunity, when there is a resource, when we are utilizing, we should also spread that word to others also. Let them also utilize along with us, and we should use it for a proper way. If you use it in a wrong way, maybe you will be able to, temporarily gain benefits, but in the long term, you are going to lose the benefits. So that is how, we lose the benefits. We don't get the proper benefits. See, one example I will give you from the same platform itself, because we are there on the platform and it's very much relevant to that. And the discipline is also very much important. See, attending is one aspect, because we are sharing knowledge and you are gaining knowledge and you are sharing knowledge, we are gaining knowledge. So it's an exchange of information, knowledge, and that transforms into wisdom. But there are other aspects also, like, when we are sharing, exchanging information, there are other aspects like documentation. Documentation from both sides. Only if you complete the formalities in time, then we will be able to record it, document it, and then we will be able to give you certificate. If you don't do that properly, then the documentation part will not be complete, because there are some things that has to be done from you. Then only we can do from our side the rest of the part. Unless and until you don't do your part, the other part cannot be taken. So that discipline is also very important for all of us, to complete the formalities in time, so that we get certificate. See, certificate is just a token of gratitude. You can see on the website also, because distributing certificates or issuing certificates is not the primary goal of this platform, right? That is a last option. But our primary focus is, getting an opportunities for sharing information, so that whatever we have gained, whatever we have achieved, whatever we have experienced or observed, that can be shared for the common good for everyone. That is the primary objective. That should be the primary objective of even the Active Aging Week. Why we are celebrating this active aging and recently Senior Citizens Day in this month? Because, okay, anyway, aging is a normal process, but active aging means making it more productive. In fact, these kind of platforms are more apt for them, because, they can be at their own comfort, wherever they are, however they are. They can come and daily talk for some time, and they can share, valuable insights to everyone. So some may be doing, but we need to engage them also. So if you have someone in your families, in your communities who have immense knowledge or domain expertise, you can also invite them. You can complete formalities on behalf of them, and and you can invite them to take sessions. Not only here, this is one platform, because every day they might be interested, may not be interested, may not be having time, and so on. A lot of factors are there. They also still exploring the world, because we cannot, within whatever time we have, we cannot explore the entire universe, right? So in that way, we can make them more productive or more the process of aging more active so that they enjoy the aging process because it's it's an obligation for everyone. It's a mandate that everyone has to go through. You and me, everyone has to go through the aging process. No one can stop it. But let's go through the process more productively, more effectively, more happily, more joyfully, appreciating the process. That is what we need to focus on in this active aging week. So that can be done by sharing your stories or others who know about them or invite them, by making groups among themselves. You can ask them or join online or offline platforms, or if there is none, they can create their own groups, offline groups, online groups, and they can start sharing. That will, that can be documented, and then that can be shared on social media, and that can be circulated so that others can also gain knowledge and wisdom. And they can be mentors. They can be, guides for the youngsters. So social media platforms are an excellent way to bring awareness on important initiatives by discussing active engaging week on social media, like online webinars, seminars. You might just encourage someone to get out and start pursuing a healthier lifestyle. That's what the purpose is, to reach out the elders in your community and say you have done so much, you have contributed so much. So, and there is a lot wisdom, there is a huge library inside you. Why not share that wisdom information to others so that others can also benefit? They will also have that satisfaction, right? So about 57% of older adults in the US are women. So more women are tend to live longer than men. We usually have 350 different bones at birth, but as we ease into adulthood, bones fuse together. Ultimately, we end up with only 206 bones. So we lose bones. Generally, we don't lose it. They get merged, fused together, right? The oldest human recorded in the history in the West is Jean-Louis Calment, who was born in France and lived up to 122 years old. In India, we have, some people who lived even longer. And there are still, like I mentioned, Chiranjeevis are there. Those who are blessed, like Lord Prahlada is there, Lord Hanuman is there, and there are many such people, they are immortal. They are there everywhere, forever, for the entire Kali Yuga, the 440,000 years, and so on. So, and there are many rishis, maharshis, sages who are, in meditation, in yoga. We see people, especially in Kumbh Mela, Mahakumbh Mela. We have seen many people which we never have seen on normal days, right? Where are these people living? We see Akhandas, Akaras. We have never seen such people, right? But we have seen on those days. So there are many people we need to explore. Only rare occasions we are able to see them. They are living, they are existing for years and years together. So research has found that staying active can slow down the aging process. So don't, age is just a number. So don't think that I am getting older. Yes, you are becoming older. That's a fact. But make that into more productive and more active. So research has found that research has found that staying active can slow down the aging process. And so that's where the positive news is. So we can make it more productive. The more active you are, the slower the aging process and the longer you live. So the more contribution you can do. For some elders or older adults who reside in assisting living communities or have mobility issues, just getting out and about can present quite a challenge. And Active Aging Week highlights all the different ways that someone can appreciate in simple exercise, and there truly is something for everyone, right? We need to find out solutions for various problems. So, and we are much more likely to accomplish our goals if we have other people helping to keep us accountable. And Active Aging Week helps bring communities of adults together to work towards a common wellness cause. Some groups have been taken on year-long walking initiatives like Australia, India, Ireland, Canada, and the US, all participants in active aging. It's inspiring to think about such a large collection of people working towards the shared goal of active aging. So, what are your thoughts? Have you experienced any such or something pondering in your minds? You can share in chat, right? Okay. So today, this week is also commemorated as Irish Road Safety Week. In Ireland, Ireland holds Irish Road Safety Week annually in the first week of October, and this year it takes place from October 6th to 13th. Okay, so today, this week, this event is organized by the Road Safety Authority, RSA, an organization formed by the Irish government in 2006 to research and promote road safety. It begins with a road safety lecture that features experts on the chosen theme. For the year, other activities include giving away driver manuals and bicycle lights on social media, interactive games aboard RSA shuttle bus, and seminars on road safety for employees. RSA also start accepting entries for its annual road safety awards during this time. In ancient times, roads originally carried all sorts of traffic indiscriminately, from beasts to burden to pedestrians. In Rome, important people traversing crowded streets and alleys used miners to clear the way for the litters. Wheelless vehicles pulled by humans, carts, and chariots. This showed that the mighty preferred not to trample the bystanders. The invention and the use of powered vehicles in the 19th century inspired the British road safety law to impose speed limits. There were also a requirement that the person on foot should carry a red flag warning those in control of vehicles on stop at a signal. The law that has brought these changes are called the Locomotives on Highways Act 1865, generally known as the Red Flag Act. So today, road behavior and rules have been developed to prioritize certain types of traffic. Motoring groups particularly lobbied for the priority of motorized traffic. Road safety laws moved children off the streets and showed pedestrians, bicycles, wheelchairs, and scooters to the sidelines. Over time, cities developed concepts such as shared space and living streets to counter this paradigm. Today is also commemorated as National Curry Week in UK, which is held from October 6th to 13th, is observed nationally for three main reasons. Used to celebrate the rising Indian restaurant industry, honoring the country's favorite cuisines, and helping raise money for poverty-focused charities. This day brings light to the spicy Indian dish, garlic turmeric as its primary ingredients, and founded by a journalist named Peter Grew, who fell in love with the delicious dish and decided to have fun promoting it, bringing attention to Indian culinary arts. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. So what does the word curry mean? The word curry originated from the Tamil word karil, which means spice sauce. So donate some food. Charity is a big part of this holiday. So use this opportunity to do some good by giving good food to the people who may need it. Today is also commemorated as PA Week in US, National Physician Assistant Week. National Physician Assistant Week is celebrated every year from October 6 to 12. Treating patients in today's complex healthcare settings takes a whole team of professionals. Among these medical workers are physician assistants, broadly trained in a wide spectrum of conditions and tasks. Their education focus on patient education, preventive care, and chronic care management. They can help patients improve their quality of life, manage chronic conditions. Physician assistants are unsung heroes and deserve their moment in the limelight. So this week is to celebrate them and to be thankful of their efforts. Today is also commemorated as Chuseok in South Korea. It's time to feast and then feast some more on South Korea's Harvest Moon Festival, also known as Chuseok or Hangami, which is celebrated on the 15th of the 8th lunar month this year on October 6th. One of the most important festivals of the year in South Korea. Celebrations for Chuseok include spending time with family while eating Korean delicacies. We are thinking that celebrations for Chuseok sound similar to Thanksgiving celebrations. It's because the festival is actually Korean Thanksgiving. This week is also commemorated as Armed Forces Day on Egypt on October 6th, which is celebrated in Egypt. It is so important that it shows war has a lasting impact on any country and its people, no matter the outcome. It commemorates the October War, which was fought to capture the Bar-Lev line, which led to the establishment of more robust and unified Egypt. On this day, celebrations fill the air and thousands of people take the streets to honor the army and leaders that led the country to victory in 1973. And today is also commemorated as Honduras Discovery of the America Day in Honduras, which is celebrated on October 6th every year. In Honduras commemorates the date when Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer, first set foot in the Americas and kickstarted a new age in the region. The traditional date for this day is October 12th. However, Latin American countries have since celebrated October 12th as Dia de la Raza, Day of the Race, shifting the focus towards celebrating the original American races and cultures instead of celebrating Columbus' arrival. Thus, it has become a day that honors the Hispanic cultures that extend to the continent before Columbus' arrival. Today is also commemorated as Kiribati Educational Day. Kiribati does not have a fixed date and this year will be celebrated on October 6th. This day is determined by the government of Kiribati and depends on which World Teachers' Day falls. Kiribati is a remote island situated in the Pacific Ocean and that has population of just over 1,20,000. Education Day is a public holiday that everyone enjoys and as the island nation receives free primary and junior secondary education. It's an important part of the island's value system. Typically, the day is spent celebrating with dances and sporting events and school hours. The island of Kiribati is located in the Pacific Ocean and is situated in Micronesia. The island is quite small, about 313 meters square, and is home to slightly over 1,20,000 people. The island was first populated in around 1300 AD. Some historians believe that the island may have been occupied centuries before the time, originally home to Austronesian peoples. The island faced multiple attacks and invasions from neighboring Polynesian tribes and islands. Today is also commemorated as Labor Day in Australia, which draws its origin from the 8-hour movement. It's celebrated on different dates in different states. It's commemorated every first Monday of October on October 6th this year in New South Wales, ACT and South Australia, Northern Territory and Queensland celebrated theirs every first Monday of May, while it occurs in the second Monday of March in Tasmania and Victoria. The workers in Australia were the very first to achieve a reduction in working time without a salary cut. Throughout the success of its 8-hour movement, Australia inspired workers in other countries, including the US, to campaign for shorter hours, which eventually led to the declaration of the International Workers' Day. Today is also commemorated as Mad Hatter Day in US. Grab your horns and party hats because it's time for very strange celebration. It's Mad Hatter Day on October 6th. And it's okay to blow milk out of your nose, celebrate with a day-long fest of silliness, made especially for those who want to wear crazy top hats and while walking backyards make Lewis Carroll proud. So today is also commemorated as Mid-Autumn Festival in China that has three names and celebrates the moon. China's Mid-Autumn Festival, also known as the Moon Festival or Harvest Moon Festival, is celebrated on the 15th day of the 8th month of the lunar calendar, or October 6th this year. So we know what you are thinking. Why does the Mid-Autumn Festival take place in late summer? Because China follows the ancient lunar calendar, and the 7th, 8th, and 9th lunar months are classified as autumn. The festival marking at the end of autumn harvest occurs during the middle of autumn when the moon is at the fullest. Moon worship has been an integral part of Chinese culture for centuries. Families gather for celebrations to eat dinner and share moon cakes as a way to thank moon for a good harvest. So moon cakes are extra special Chinese pastries shared among family and friends during the mid-autumn or moon festival. If you are the family chef making delicacies with a variety of fillings, but if eating is all you really want to do, simple some moon cake stuffed with lotus paste and salted egg yolks, or date paste, fruits, nuts, or seeds. Tasty. To munch on moon cakes, hang paper lanterns, make your house the spot for festival on this occasion. Today is also commemorated as National Badger Day in United Kingdom, UK, which is celebrated every year on October 6th. You might see one of these short-legged furry fellas say, oh, then get into cuddling mode, but make no mistake, they are fearsome creatures who may appear adorable and docile, but can fight back when you provoke. So, apart from being adorable but fierce fighters, badgers are also extremely important for the ecosystem and play an important role. National Badger Day is celebrated every year to appreciate the beauty of badgers and to share our love for these amazing animals with each other. The eclectic badger can be found all across UK, with most of them being in South England. In North America, they live in the Great Plains region. Most badgers are members of the Weasel family. Mustelid and mainly live in areas. There are mix of woodland and open country in a network of underground burrows and tunnels called sets. The earliest trace of badgers date back several thousands of years. Today, they are almost a living symbol of the beautiful British countryside where they are popularly found. It is no secret that these mysterious creatures bring massive joy to people lucky enough to encounter them in the wild. Not just this, but badgers also play an integral part in the UK's ecosystems. Their existence contributes heavily to the habitat heterogeneity, maintaining and regenerating soil health through foraging and even helping to disperse seeds through their dung. They are also instrumental in creating new habitats for amphibians, invertebrates, and pollinators. Badgers also love to share, and their tunnels even provide refuge for other wildlife. American badgers are powerful and monthly nocturnal animals that capture their prey by rapid digging, usually Solitary, they feed mainly on rodents, ground squirrels, pockets, gophers, mice, and voles. Other prey includes insects, reptiles, and eggs of ground nesting birds. Their European counterparts are omnivorous and consume earthworms, insects, and small mammals, birds, and their eggs, and also fruits and nuts. They are grayish with large black and white facial stripes. Today is also commemorated as National Child Health Day in US on the first Monday of every October, where we show our support of children's health, family, and those that work hard to help them. Finally, income is a major factor in the health of children, both physically and mentally, and children from households below the poverty line have a higher obesity rate than those above it. And with the epidemic not slowing down, it's clear that there's more that there we need to do. It is also commemorated as National Coaches Day in US. No questions, parents and teachers play a definite role in shaping young person's life, but not forget about the coaches, especially National Coaches Day remind us on October 6th, US Olympic soccer gold medalist Fully Fowdy once said that sports not only build better athletes, but also better people. So she should know the lessons learned in athletic competition translate perfectly to all aspects of life. That's better nearly as the traits we associate positive in our people, a crucial role in sports as well. Confidence, communication, teamwork, we won't succeed on the field, in the office, or at home without the world's best coaches from Little League all the way to the World Cup exemplify this winning tradition. Today is also commemorated as National Consignment Day in US. For everyone that likes to be on trend and still live green, National Consignment Day held on the first Monday in October each year. On October 6th this year is for you. The day encourages people to sell items we no longer use and we want to consignment stores, and you and the consignment store make some money and someone gets to ethically buy and utilize a gently used item. So the consignment store is a sort of place where people bring in items to sell at a fraction of original price. They display the items in the consignment store for a prearranged number of days and are paid a certain amount of selling price. The rest goes to the store after the product sells. Such stores stock clothing, home goods, art, furniture, and even books. But before the US had such stores, there were thrift shops, and before that, push carts. The Industrial Revolution was responsible for granting accessibility to a lot of items, and clothing was one of them. Not only did production increase, but pricing also dropped, and buying power was at an all time high back then. Unfortunately, this also increased the disposable nature of clothes at this time, and Jewish immigration saw an opportunity. All the discarded clothes were resold on push carts. This week is also commemorated as National Energy Week and also Energy Day on October 6th in US. Honors the men and women who ensure that the modern and new homes are designed and built with energy efficient and sustainable materials and methods. These professionals are often overlooked as their work ends before someone moves into their homes, so they don't deserve or they don't receive. In fact, they very much deserve, but they don't receive as much credit as they should. So that's why we appreciate the fact of Energy Logic Inc. supported them in creating this National Day. Today is also commemorated as National Germanic German American Day in US. Besides being a great excuse to eat bratwurst and drink, there is no tomorrow. German American Day on October 6th honors the anniversary of the first German immigrants arriving in America since they touched down and created Germantown, Pennsylvania. German immigrants and their descendants have had a massive impact on American culture and history. From starting from kindergartens to giving us legend of Santa Claus, Germans contributed more than you might know today. We are celebrating the culture and brushing up on the history of Germans in America. Today is also commemorated as National Noodle Day in US. We are getting ready to celebrate the doing the best thing possible with noodles. And though it has now been classified as junk food, though we have other alternatives, but it has been around 4,000 years and so odd. Noodles are popular all over the world and range in shape from flat, round, and twisted to sheets and tubes and many. They can be made from rice, buckwheat, wheat, with or without, vegetarian or non-vegetarian flavors and so on, though veg is more sustainable. And eating noodles was the easiest way to forklift as many as delicious carbs into your mouth at once, making them a national favorite. The term has become a catchy for all the things pasta, spaghetti, macaroni, and dom-friendly ramen, which means there's a dish out there for everyone, no matter your sauce or topping preferences. And today is also commemorated as National Plus Size Appreciation Day on October 6th in US, as a great opportunity to remind ourselves that when it comes to beauty, one size doesn't fit at all. The purpose of this October 6th day is to celebrate the curves that men and women everywhere rock. So, whether you happen to be plus sized or not, get out and spread the word that having a little more to love can be a truly fantastic thing. Give National Plus Size Appreciation Day a shout out on your social media accounts talking about this day on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram will help spread the word. Since bodies come in all different shapes and sizes, so do our clothes. Keep up with current trends in plus size fashion by attending fashion shows. By learning about it, it's fun to keep a plus size pulse on the new trends popping up in the fashion industry. An overall theme of National Plus Size Appreciation Day is to make sure that every person feels good in his or her own skin and body. In honor of this day, make it a point to dish out a few extra compliments to family, friends, and even strangers. There is a good chance of simple, sincere compliments will make someone's day. So today is also commemorated as National Transfer Money to Your Daughter's Day on October 6th. You might read that an entire day devoted to daughters getting some extra pocket money from their parents. And what a great day to be a daughter, right? On this day, parents can transfer money into their daughters' bank accounts, hand them some cash in person, or use more modernized methods, such as Venmo and Zelle, to help brighten their daughter's day. Plus, parents may be more inclined to fork over the cash if they know they are participating in what is considered a national holiday, and if they seem at all hesitant, show them our article as proof. We'll be more happy to vouch for you. Today is also commemorated as October Liberatory War in Syria, commemorating the Yom Kippur War of 1973. The war is notable for the Arab world's small victory in coaxing Israel to return the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt despite the heavy Arab casualties and Israel's relentless counterattack. The war was halted by United Nations brokered ceasefire, which paved the way for Israeli peace talks with Egypt. They culminated in a form of formal peace treaty between the two states in 1979 and renewed hope for peace in the region, a notion that would prove to be easier said than done. This week is also commemorated as Sukkot on October 6th, known as the Feast of Booths, begins on the 15th day of 7th month of the biblical calendar, or October 6th this year. The 7-day holiday originates from the book of Leviticus, in which God instructs Moses, "You shall live in the booth 7 days." Today, adherents celebrate by building temporary dwellings or sukkahs from wood, canvas, or aluminum and praying inside of them. The Holy Week also commemorates the flimsy dwellings that were Israelites were forced to live in during their 40 years of wandering in the wilderness following their exodus from Egypt. Today is also commemorated as Turkmenistan Earthquake Memorial Day. Earthquake Memorial Day, observed on October 6th, is an annual remembrance ritual observed in Turkmenistan. It is a day designated to remember the victims of 1948 earthquake that devastated the country. The quake, which was centered near the capital city of Ashgabat, is thought to have killed upon up to 110,000 people, or about 10% of the country's population. At that time, along with the day, numerous memorials have been erected in Turkmenistan to commemorate the earthquake that changed the country. Today is also commemorated as Vab Full Moon Poya Day in Sri Lanka. On the day of full moon of Vab, the seventh month of the Sinhalese calendar falls on October 6th and on October 7th. It frequently occurs in the October of Western calendar. The completion of the Buddhist fasting period coincides with the Vab full moon Poya holiday, commemorating Buddhist sermon on Adidhamma to the gods in Tat and Tavitams. Maya passed away a week after the birth of her son, Buddha, the Enlightened One. She was given the name Chantusita after her rebirth as a god in the Tatvimsa, celestial realm. Buddha went to the Tavatimsa, heaven, to pay respects to his mother and spent 3 months giving sermons based on the Adidhamma teachings. So the Isala full moon Poya marks the beginning of the Buddhist Lent, which continues for the following 3 months. And this is the time when monks remain in their temples and subsist on alms from worshippers. It is traditionally believed that Buddha returned to earth on the night of Vab full moon, which also marks the conclusion of the Buddhist fasting period. In Sri Lanka, it is observed with every full moon, typically occurring on a month. A special day is set aside to remember significant moments in Buddhist history during the full moons, each bearing a unique name. Days with a full moon are called Poya, and their dates shift from year to year, with some dates falling either one day before or one day after the date of the full moon. Today is also commemorated as World Architecture Day on October 6th, celebrated every first Monday of October, to appreciate the great architectural works of the ancient and modern worlds and super brilliant people who designed them. Great pyramids built over 4,000 years ago is the only great world wonder still standing in the West. We can only imagine the brilliance of the Egyptian architects and the engineering involved. Architecture is not only limited to buildings but encompasses every aspect of human life and is essential to our development as a race. In India, we can see a lot of temples, and in Indian diaspora, we can see in Bali, where there was Hinduism widely spread. You can see the architecture, which still stands from thousands and thousands of years, and no one can even come near to replication. We'll take a moment. Today is also commemorated as World Cerebral Palsy Day. Cerebral palsy, which is an unwelcome global phenomenon which occurs annually, the World's Cerebral Palsy Day on October 6 reminds us that there are over 17 million people impacted by this disorder. CP is one of the most common physical disabilities affecting the most vulnerable among us. So both children and adults with cerebral palsy deserves to be heard. If you have the disorder or you are a parent, caregiver or friend of someone with CP, blog about your experience, post pictures throughout social media, letting everyone know about World Cerebral Palsy Day and why it is so important. And people with CP uh, need to burst out of their shadows, right? So, although there are over 350 million people who are connected in some way to cerebral palsy, there are lingering misconceptions about the disorder. There are cultures that believe CP is contagious, but wherever there is a darkness of ignorance, there must be a way to shine the light of education. By attending an event on cerebral palsy, you can find out what different countries are doing to create awareness, and you might even come up with a few ideas of your own neighbor. Sadly, there are many children with cerebral palsy who may experience feelings of isolation from not living in a positive, accessible environment. If you have a child or know a child with CP, throw a party to set up a play day because all children and need to play at the party setup. Easy games for younger children and video games for the older kids make the environment festive as well as the day they will always remember. The numbers are chilling. 1 in 4 children with CP are unable to talk. 1 in 3 can't talk. 1 in 2 have a mental or intellectual disability, and 1 in 4 has epilepsy. 1 in 500 infants is born with cerebral palsy. Almost half of the people with CP were born with premature. In many societies around the world, people with CP are kept uneducated and hidden away from the rest of the community. So in the Netherlands, a baby is born with cerebral palsy every 22 hours. So in order to correctly examine cerebral palsy, it is important to note that what is not a disease. In fact, CP is considered a disorder. The effects of CP change from person to person. Those effects include a weakness in one or both hands, epilepsy, intellectual disability, and a total inability to control movements such as walking. One of the big goals of World Cerebral Palsy Day is to promote more inclusive societies for people with CP. One way to accomplish this is to educate the world on the idea that CP is not some isolated disorder. In many societies, people with CP are either pitied and overprotected, or they are regarded with suspicion. Some cultures believe that a mother was cursed for doing something wrong if a child was born with CP. World Cerebral Palsy Day is an opportunity to produce actions that will lead to more open minds and societies. So, cerebral palsy is a worldwide disorder affecting millions of people, primarily children. Global organizations are collaborating together to take on big issues that CP sufferers face. According to the World Cerebral Palsy Day organizers, there is an active group of families and organizations in 65 countries working on improved CP diagnosis and treatment, better quality of life, educational opportunities, and charitable contributions to fund continuing research. There is also commemorated as Zero Inbox Day. So each year, Zero Inbox Day on October 6, people, especially busy professionals, Zero Inbox Day is a very recent event that deserves to be celebrated because of its people. It helps people become more productive with their time. The app developers, Superhuman, started Inbox Zero Day in October 2020. The importance of this day has increased in recent times because of the growth of entrepreneurship and the fact that a lot of people nowadays are running their business online. As a result, people are receiving more emails on a typical day than they used to a few years ago. For the young entrepreneur or the experienced office executives stepping into the world of entrepreneurship, all of this can be quite intimidating. Opening an inbox first thing in the morning and going through all the emails one by one is unnecessary, time consuming. Early mornings would be better spent in having team catch ups on important meetings. That's the need to celebrate. Inbox Zero Day was the first as many companies and startups began to come up with the new apps and services to help clients filter, sort, manage, and prioritize their emails. As the popularity of these services grew, clients began to experience the benefits of maintaining a zero inbox, identifying the best time of the day to check their emails on different devices and not knowing when to respond to them. The success of these apps means that Inbox Zero Day is going to become more exciting and competitive in the next few years as more companies catch on to this trend and business realize the value of training their employees in their better inbox management techniques. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us in these celebrations and commemorations. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. Take care. Good night. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form that will be shared in the form of polls.